right, next up we have the Brooklyn Dodgers, captained by Joe B, who is not here. So I'm substituting Aldi in to...
And because he's not here, we get to be extra hard on him.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
So I'm going to start where I always start. We're going to start with Marc Sayegh.
Yeah.
And I deleted him. We're going to start with Marc Sayegh.
So this is all tentative. We made this.
Yeah. This
Yes,
is also
yes.
a disclaimer. We put this together. Joe did not say anything about this. This is, I guess, the board's opinion of
What they should do, what we think is going to happen. So again, all with a grain of salt.
Exactly.
All right off the bat, I'm just going to say Marc Sayegh is probably one of the more underrated pitchers. I'm curious where he got him in the draft. Third round? Okay.
I think it's solid value for third round.
Yeah.
Beginning of the third.
Beginning of the third, which I think is pretty solid value for a guy who's really not going to walk anybody.
This has that bulldog mentality, like when you come after, you know?
I like this pick a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Marc Sayegh pick is great.
Agreed.
You know, throws a lot of strikes. He's going to pitch. Everybody's on their toes all game.
Mm-hmm.
And then his real X factor on this team right off the bat is going to be JoJo Levy. I played with JoJo. I think a few of us have actually played with JoJo.
I don't think so. I don't think
I did. He's great.
I played with him.
But he's great at what position is the question.
He played at center field and he knocked it down, hit home
Right,
runs. all
So on this team, it looks like he's going to play shortstop because if you move him to the outfield, I don't see anybody else on this team who can play shortstop. I think that...
So I got to tell you, I actually, just getting into Joe's mind for a second, because I played with him, I think he's going to move him to the outfield. Just because I'm looking at the team and I'm looking at the names, and I see a lot of infielders, and I think he's just going to throw numbers at it. And he's not, I don't think he values a shortstop as much as he's going to take someone out of the outfield. I think the way he's going to do it is he's going to put his friend Mikey Salem there. He's going to have Moshe Elo at third. He's going to have Alan Shama at second, Mike Moseri playing short center. From what I hear, Jack Azar could play the field. He has a solid glove, solid fundamentals. I don't think he's going to be in the outfield. And then he has this Mo Partis, Nathan Cohen, and Jack Azar with what to move around his infield. I think he's going to just try to put the problem away by throwing numbers at it and hoping one of them sticks.
So you think maybe JoJo Levy goes out and you kind of create a great wall of China over here and leave only the two over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. He's just, and also listen, he's gonna have a short leash. And I've played with Joey before. If a guy's not doing it, he's just gonna move him and put the next guy in.
I think if he puts JoJo Levy to the outfield, he probably has maybe the best outfield in the league.
Agreed, and that's I think what he wants to go with, right? He's okay with even if anything goes through the infield, it's a single. But if it gets out to the outfield, it's not going past a single. Each guy can get that ball in quick, and it's stopping there. You're not really gonna have much guys legging out singles into doubles. Nothing's really going to go over their heads. They're going to play solid defense out there. So, listen, if it gets through the infield, it gets through the infield.
I hear you, but my worry becomes if you take JoJo out of this infield, what's stopping everybody from tomahawking the ball into the ground and just playing, you know?
But these guys. But the thing is, it's not like these guys can't play. Moshe Elo, we played with him last year.
Great.
He played good third base.
Yeah,
Mike Moseri, we played with him last year.
And he was also great.
Alan Chad, put his glove on the ground.
There's no range between Moshe and Mike. They'll get the balls that are hit hard if they're right at them. But if that ball's hit 4 feet to Moshe's right or, over here or here.
It's not that easy.
I hear you.
And also, it's not that easy, but also guys got to do it again in a row. That's the thing. He's gonna be banking on that because you hit the ball to the outfield. Marc Sayegh is a good pitcher. They're gonna get out. So you have to tomahawk it. Got to put it in the right place. And also, do you want hitters at top of lineups? Like, do you want Aaron Levy trying to tomahawk a ball?
Well, I think that with this defense, maybe.
Right. Do you want Isaac tomahawking the ball?
Yeah. Again, with this defense,
right.
Maybe.
But then again, it gets to your 5 to 9. Not to talk about your team, but you have to stack. And my point is, you have to stack them.
Right. At a certain point, you've clogged the bases, and now there's forces everywhere.
I hear you.
I don't know.
It's definitely a problem he has to figure out.
I'm seeing a lot of infielders, but I'm not seeing a lot of second basemen or shortstop type guys.
Right. There's no premier infielder.
Yeah.
He has a lot of guys that can play the infield. No guy that's going to own the infield.
Agree.
Right.
I think that Nathan Cohen over here at first base is great. I think not being a captain, no stress on him.
Right.
I think he's going to do very well this season. 343 is going to go up.
And that's also where I think when I said I got to take it away from the field for a second, I said he has one of my favorite teams, and it's also because of the lineup. So if you look at his lineup, he has Ike Salem. He had 245 last year, but I don't think he's an actual 245 hitter.
His OBP was 400.
Right, his OBP was 400. Right, he's one of the fastest guys in the league, and he knows situationally how to get on base. JoJo Levy, you saw last season, right?
No, this kid's going to be a star.
Right. So
this kid's a star.
And he drafted him to be there. Joey Betesh, you know what you're getting with him. He's just an all-star year in, year out. 543. Marc Sayegh, we played with him last year.
It's fantastic.
He started, I think, in a slot position when he was 11, and he ended the season in a 4 slot, right? And he went to the 70s. So he's a solid bat. Marc Sayegh, we know what you're getting with him. You're just getting hard hit balls.
I'm seeing a lot of bats.
Nathan Cohen, Moshe Elo put 429. Like, he could put a bat on the ball once he gets going. Alan Shamla hits hard. So that's 1 through 8. He has guys that you're not. There's no automatic out. There's not a guy that's getting up there and you're like, all right, listen, we have a break in the lineup. Which, for me, Mo Pardis could hit, Jack Azar. Like, when you come into the 10 guy and you're, could he hit, could he not? And that's the only question.
Right. Well,
solid lineup.
They're going to have to hit. Yeah. Because this is not a defense that I look at and think, oh, they're going to get shutouts.
Agreed.
You know, like, they're going to have to hit, and they can, so that they should be all right. And obviously, we didn't actually talk about Ike Salem, but he's interesting for them.
Right.
Because, you know, if, like you said, if you want to throw numbers at it, maybe Ike Salem plays a little shortstop.
Yeah.
That way you can move JoJo out there. I don't think he's going to be amazing at it, but I think he'll get it done.
The question mark for me is who's catching. Because I don't know who's the catcher. I know a lot of the guys, and I know a lot of guys on this team think that they're infielders. Not saying that they're not or they are.
Right.
I don't see anyone
that might be a rotation.
On this team, right? It's going to be a rotation, but then you have a problem when you're a rotation, right? Any ball hit to the outfield. Me personally, I know Isaac's doing it too. We're just sending guys home because I'm not confident in these guys knowing the position the same way a Michael Chicalo or a Mass do, where they're going to feel their position. It's different when you're just slapping a guy there and saying, I hope and pray, and also getting the ball back. I don't know if these guys...
How's that going to affect Marc Sayegh?
I mean, that's exactly what I was getting to. I don't know how these guys are going to affect Marc Sayegh when you're doing that.
Well, you might even see if it's somebody that we're a little bit afraid of behind the plate, you may see Marc Sayegh come to cover the plate.
Right. For me, also though, I know that Marc Sayegh could probably get, if he's not getting that ball back, guy's not framing it the right way, he's not doing the right way in the receiver, Marc Sayegh can get frustrated, and who knows how that can sort of affect the way the game goes, because it makes a difference who's behind the plate.
I agree. No, there are some things I like about this team. I really think Moshe Elo is a good value pick at third base. And Mike Mo I love. Joey B is going to be great. Jojo Levy is like, it's so hard to like categorize him because if he plays shortstop, I think where he should be, this is good. This works.
For me, it's the lineup. He has a fantastic lineup. And I think the lineup is going to carry him to wins. And it's just not an easy out, and especially a lot of teams that have infield positions on the infield, and I think that they can make you pay. And listen, they may put pressure on opposing offenses and say, okay, do something, make us make a mistake, but we're going to come right back at you. Listen, I think it's great for the regular season, but also when you get to the playoffs, when the pressure's on and they're out there, it can get a little iffy, but I think their bats will come to play.
And I think we're seeing more of what we've seen across the board here from a bunch of teams are these kind of question marks. I think you said Jack Azar is a infielder,
yeah.
Which is, again, another infielder. So who's Joey Betesh playing off of in right and in left?
I think it's going to be JoJo and Eli, but listen, we'll hear from Joey. I guess we'll see week 1.
I'm seeing a lot of third basemen and first basemen. Yeah, we'll see. This is.
And also, if I know Joey, he's also not afraid to make a trade or two once the season actually gets underway. So if he has to make a move, he'll make a move.
He's got pieces to move.
He definitely has pieces to move, and guys even that are hitters on his lineup, like Moshe Elo at 7, could slot up into other lineups much higher, or like Alan Shamla at 8. So listen, I think let's see how they play week 1. But in all honesty, I give this team a B+. B+. That's going to be my grade.
You guys want to go?
Just based off the lineup alone, and I think he'll figure out the defense.
I'm going to go last on this one. I'm curious to see what other people have to say. Maybe it'll sway me.
So I like the lineup as well. I don't know a few of the guys, but I like the lineup. I love Joey in center. Joey's the best. Mark's great pitcher, decent bat. Jojo Levy also a great bat. I'm a little lower on this team than Al just because of the infield. I think the infield is so much more important than the outfield.
I agree with you.
Most people can just get it done in the outfield, but if you have an infield that can't make plays, it's impossible to win games.
I will say that errors on the infield hurt, but errors in the outfield
kill. I agree with that 100%. But it's a lot easier to make errors in the infield than it is in the outfield. A lot of guys can catch the fly balls that come to them, but on the infield, it's not easy on these fields with the bumps and the dirt and if you're not a natural shortstop and you're not a natural second baseman or short center field, balls going through it ruins the game. So because of that, because the infield not being, especially if they move JoJo to the outfield and they don't really have a shortstop, I'm giving this a C minus.
It's kind of where I was.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The infield's just way too important.
I hear you. I definitely hear you. I think he's gonna make moves. I don't think that's his infield. I don't think we're seeing the whole picture.
Yeah, but that's what we know right now.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I hear you.
I see a lot of things he's got to figure out. I think he's got a lot of figuring out on defense. Offense, I'm not concerned. I'm not frightened by it. I mean, I think he has, the numbers speak for itself. I think his problem is going to be figuring out what in the world he's doing with his defense, because I don't think he knows himself. No, I don't mean it in a funny way, but I mean,
It's a question mark.
Look at it. You have so many possibilities, and what's the right move? You hurt yourself by putting JoJo in the outfield because now you're throwing Ike in short.
Mm-hmm.
So any move he makes, it kind of doesn't really. It helps one side, but it hurts him on the other. So I think he's going to be a trial and error, and I think it's going to have to. It's a wait and see with this guy and what he has up his sleeve, because I don't know. Like you said, he has a lot of infielders, but I don't see much in the outfield. C minus, I think, is where it has to be right now. I mean, I don't see any solution to his problem unless he makes moves.
I'm kind of with you guys. I just think I'm trying to figure this out, and maybe Joey has a plan, and I can't put this puzzle together. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He did go to the World Series last year, so I'm assuming he's got some plan. But until I see it, this has got to be a C. I don't really understand how he's going to solve this infield. But yeah,
Right.
He's got moves to
But what
make.
I also do think, out of every team in the league, he has the biggest boom or bust potential. Where if one or two of his guys that he knows something and he figures it out, his lineup is good enough that it carries.
they're going to score runs. I'm not
They're
worried
gonna
about
score.
that. They're going to score a lot of runs.
Look, he's got one of the better hitting pitchers. I mean, he's got that.
One
But again,
through- one
not
through
having a
nine.
catcher, solidified catcher,
Right.
it's
I
going
hear
to
you.
affect the pitcher.
I hear
It's
you.
getting the ball back to him. It's not about covering the plate, but getting the ball back to him, covering the spots. Having someone. There aren't that many that can do that.
But for
Every
me-
ball that gets by him, he's got to sit there and wait for go get the ball. It breaks the rhythm.
I hear you, but
Yeah.
for me, as a captain and a guy on the infield or in the outfield, from 1 through 8, I'm actively shifting guys and moving them. Where on other lineups, I'm not. Where I'm trying to play a solid defense. I'm not just saying, all right, just stand out there, we're going to get it out. It's 1 through 8 that we're really going to, they're not going to let up. They're going to be attacking, they're going to be aggressive. And Mike Sayegh was our 4-hitter last year. Moshe Ela was our 5 or 6 hitter last
No,
year.
their offense is
No,
very
the
good.
offense is not the
Offense is
question.
very good. If they solve this problem over here, this is not a C. This is a B.
Right.
This is a B plus.
Mhm.
It's a great team. They just have to figure out.
I think you're
who's
putting a
playing
lot of
shortstop.
pressure on your outfield. You're putting a lot of weight on Jack and Eli to cover.
I don't think it's Jack. I think it's going to be JoJo, Joey, and Eli.
Then I
But
want.
there's no infield.
I'm curious to see who
That's what
plays
he's going to do. I
shortstop.
even think I
Right.
remember him in the draft saying he's going to put Ike at short.
Okay.
Again,
If it works, then it works.
Okay.
That's what I've got for this team.
Gotcha. Good luck, Joey.